Have you ever ventured into the woods as night was falling and felt a sense of unease come over you? A stillness in the air that wasn't there before, like all the little animals have gone quiet, knowing something you don't? I had one of those feelings the other day as the light started to fade and decided it was time I faced whatever was lurking in the shadows. That's how my night in the haunted forest Modpack began. Wrapping my hands tight around my only flashlight, I picked my way carefully over fallen logs and under brush, peering intently into every shadowy nook and cranny. At every small noise, I whipped around, sure that something unnatural was close behind me. But the forest stayed shrouded in an eerie silence, as if waiting for me to let my guard down. As I explored further, odd sights started to appear, mushrooms and plants that glowed with an otherworldly light. I knew this forest had fallen under an unholy spell, but I had to find the source. Looking for clues, but finding more mysteries with each step, my sense of unease only grew stronger. What creatures might lurk where the trees grow thickest? I had to know, even if the truth would haunt my dreams. The forest pressed in all around as darkness fell completely. Tall spruces blotted out the few stars that managed to pierce the canopy, leaving me wrapped in black as the grave. I didn't dare call out whatever was out there. I didn't want to draw its attention. My breath caught in my throat as distant howls echoed eerily through the trees. It seemed the night's predators had begun to emerge, and I was directly in their territory. It was then I realized just how much danger I was. Pushing on through the inky shadows, holding my breath and listening for any sign I wasn't alone, my light fell upon a collection of pale blue orbs drifting lazily between the trees. Spirits, perhaps, of those who had lost their way in these woods long ago. As I watched, they seemed to glance in my direction, as if sensing my presence. A shiver ran down my spine. Whatever mystic force held sway over this forest, it had called forth spirits from beyond. I had to get out before the shadows swallowed me for good. But would I survive long enough to find the way? Heart in my throat, I spun at every cracking twig, certain something was following me just out of sight. When my light fell upon strange runes carved deep into an immense tree, I stumbled to a stop, transfixed. These were no ordinary markings, they pulsed with an unholy energy that set my hair on end. I was standing at the very heart of this forest's curse, and whatever entity placed these runes here was ensuring its domain would never be lifted. I had to get away now, before the evil that lived within the woods sensed my intrusion. I ran. I emerged onto a ridge just as the moon rose, trembling and out of breath. Looking back, I saw only an impenetrable mass of shadow from which no light seemed able to escape. Whatever mysteries and monsters lurked within, I prayed they remained locked away in that cursed wood. I had glimpsed just a sliver of the evil that held sway after dark. Now, as the moon cast an eerie glow over the ancient trees, I was glad to put it behind me. But its memory would haunt me at every nightfall, wondering what other souls may still be lost in the dark. In the pale light of morning, the forest seemed almost ordinary again. But I knew the sun's rays couldn't lift the enchantment that gave this wood its power. As the fog parted, I glimpsed movements within that sent my heart racing all over. Was it human or other? I had to know more about this place and its phantoms, or they would haunt me forever. It was time to venture back within. Pushing through the undergrowth, my search led me to a long-forgotten altar. Moss and lichen had overtaken its crumbling surface, but the symbol carved at its center was unmistakable. This was the very heart of the forest's magic. As I puzzled over its meaning, a mist arose from nowhere, hanging motionless in the heavy air. I backed away, fearing what manifestation may emerge, but only silence answered. Whatever entity dwelled here was content to remain in shadows, for now. But I would return to face its guardians and discover the truth behind the haunted wood.